Whoa, whoa, whoa. You see that guy right there? The guy that looks like a piece of paper? Well, that's actually me, believe it or not. And I bet you're wondering how I got in that situation. My name is Near V, Minnesota, and this is my story. During the 1920s, Minnesota was hit hard by Prohibition. Because Minneapolis is one of the largest Midwestern cities west of the mighty Mississippi, bootlegging gangs became a huge problem. Even worse, city officials began to be corrupted by the mobsters' payouts. The police department started to neglect nonviolent crimes by the gangs. In 1927, Jay Neer and Howard Guildford published a tabloid known as the Saturday Press. A certain issue called out the gangs as Jewish and referred to many city and state officials as incompetent. The Saturday Press also accused the city of Minneapolis of running the city next to the mobsters. Although Neer's known anti-Semitism spoils the duo's reputation, Guildford was shot, and while in the hospital, he had another attempt on his life, so they must have had something right. Floyd Olson, the governor of Minnesota, filed a complaint against the duo under the Public Nuisance Law of 1925. It's worth noting that this law was incredibly flawed. It banned anyone from creating a public nuisance, which is too vague and subjective, and often ended up violating the First Amendment rights of the individual. In the trial, Neer and Guildford were banned from publishing future issues of the Saturday Press due to their past content. Neer and Guildford appealed and were affirmed to the Minnesota Supreme Court, where it was decided once again that Neer and Guildford's content was able to be censored due to its likelihood of starting civil unrest. The case then returned to district court, where Neer and Guildford objected to the public nuisance law. Judge Matthias Baldwin overruled the objection, claiming that there was little room for questioning in the original verdict. On the duo's second appeal to the Minnesota Supreme Court, they finally tried something different, this time arguing that the 14th Amendment, which promised them due process, was neglected. The verdict was not reversed, but it was decided that Neer and Guildford could publish a newspaper that was in harmony with the public welfare. Then they appealed to the big guns, the U.S. Supreme Court. The court reversed all previous verdicts with a 5-4 margin. Chief Justice Hughes and Justices Holmes, Brandeis, Stone, and Roberts' opinion cited the First and 14th Amendments to hold that the concept of a gag law like Minnesota's infringes on the people's freedom of speech. However, Justices Sutherland, Van Devontier, McReynolds, and Butler defended the previous court's decisions with the argument that a verdict supporting ultimate free speech would leave states powerless compared to the federal government. This ended up banning prior restraint in all cases except wartime. The legacy of this case is clear. During the Pentagon Papers Supreme Court case, or New York Times v. United States, it was a key precedent in deciding the final verdict. Overall, this case helped to protect free speech from becoming a state-regulated mess.